Veritas Veritas was started with a question. It's a little bit different than some of the other classical schools, in that the question that was asked at the beginning of our school was, what have students been able to do historically? And as we try to answer that question, the fact of the matter is that answering that question will make you despair, because many in the past have been able to be what very few are being asked to do now. So we run at a pretty fast rate. Our top math track makes it through second year calculus in high school. I think that puts us at the top. Those students that complete that would be at the top 1.6% of students in America. John went faster. He this year completed a year of linear algebra, working with Dr. Daniel Droz, one of our alumni. He's a math professor at Franklin Marshall. John's not just gifted, however, in mathematics. He excels in all areas of study. He's been a leader at our school, and of course, I always tell people that Veritas is an academic school. That's a little bit of a joke, because schools should be academic. That's what they are. And some people just not knowing. Of course, I came from the state of Indiana, where schools are generally an excuse to get the right 5 basketball players on the court. John is our first young man to score over 1,000 points in basketball. That means a lot to me. So I was asked once, what happens when a student, a basketball player, fails a class in Indiana? Now, John, of course, has not been anywhere near failing a class at Veritas. He has a 4.0 GPA. And I said, little do you know, no basketball player ever has failed a class in Indiana. Teachers are good, but basketball players never fail. John, again, he's been a leader in our student government. He has earned, he is a National Merit Finalist. He's earned a full academic scholarship at Liberty University, where he, I believe, will be doing a degree in computer science. He is a top shelf student, and I'm very thankful for he and Ed. Both of them point to the kind of breadth that we want students to have. This class has that kind of breadth where their loves are not narrow, they are broad. And I'm very thankful that John Spead is our valedictorian today. So John, would you please come?
Good afternoon. As I've looked through this year, and really all of my years in high school, I've realized how exactly I and all of my fellow classmates are able to be in the position that we are today, namely graduating high school. It's only possible through the constant care and building up of those around us. Quite literally, none of us would have been able to make this achievement on our own. With that being said, thank you, faculty and administration. All of the faculty are the primary reason that we're able to be here today. You have taught us the majority of what we know academically coming to this point, and a lot of our future successes in college will be attributed to your teaching in one way or another. Thank you for your guidance and patience as you have had to deal with us, some of us, every weekday for the past 13 years. Thank you to the administration for always striving to make the school a better place, and in doing so, heightening our education and learning. Thank you to my class for all of the good times and memories of high school. From the nicknames of Jaundice and Chon, I've enjoyed all of the memories with you guys and will miss you dearly. From Zoom pranks to senior pranks, we've had a lot of fun together. We can talk about anything and have a good time, from crosses and swords to St. Swithin. Thank you to all of my other friends throughout the school who provided a great community to grow up in. I enjoyed getting to know and being with all of you. To my family, thank you for always supporting and loving me. As I've grown up with those around me, I've realized what an incredible gift I have in you all. I am truly blessed to be a Speed. Thank you, Naya, for being the most steadfast and supportive girlfriend one could ask for. Thank you to everyone else who has an impact on me and my classmates growing up. From coaches like Coach Stapp and Coach Cunningham, to theater directors and choir conductors. Thank you to all of the other influential adults in our lives who are helping to raise the next generation. Lastly, and most importantly, I want to thank God for every single day that He has given us in high school, and the chance that we have to go beyond. I've been sadly reminded many times over the past couple of years that every single day is a gift, and we don't know if we are going to get another one. I thank God for giving us this day and each next day as we've come through school. As I've come through high school, I've passed through a number of phases of interest that have captivated my passions and energies. I'm the type of person that doesn't want to do anything half-hearted, so whenever I do something, I run the danger of making it my primary purpose in life. In the midst of these phases, I sometimes find myself late at night ruminating on my life. I think about what I'm going to accomplish in my current fascination, whether it's cars, my YouTube channel, PC building, or something else. After I think about my current goal, I start to think about my goal after that, and then my goal after that. A couple of times, it has ended up with me thinking about why I'm even bothering in the first place, if it's going to be irrelevant in a couple of years. And then I start falling down the rabbit hole of what I am currently doing in my life, which is going to be irrelevant in the future. The mind is a funny thing, and if you take my line of reasoning to its logical end, which as a good classical thinker I do every time, you come to the conclusion that none of it really matters. At least that's the conclusion you come to at first. The game you have downloaded on your phone probably won't matter in a week. And that computer you have won't be relevant in a few years. Once we have kids, that project car isn't going to be feasible. If you think about it, there's a decent chance that you're never going to use your education in the field that you're intending to use it right now. And even if you do, it won't matter when you're dead. You can't take it with you. There's no purpose in life to buying houses or acquiring wealth or even knowledge. That all stays here in the physical realm. At this point in my thought process, my brain usually starts hurting, but I keep pushing. I know Scripture has all the answers, so that's where I have to turn to, and then it all clicks into place. If I'm going to do a logical syllogism, it will look something like this. Premise 1. God says that the chief end of man is to glorify Him and enjoy Him forever. Therefore, the chief end of man is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. QED. Enjoying God forever is key. That means enjoying Him on this earth, but He's also calling us to enjoy Him in eternity. Purpose 1 in life is to therefore be a Christian. Glorifying God is twofold. You can glorify Him in how you act with yourself, that's purpose 1. But you can also glorify Him in how you act with others, and that's relationally. That's also the basis of the Great Commission, which I'm logically calling our purpose number 2. Where am I going with this speech? Well, I'll bring it around in a second. With these purposes in mind, everything else starts to make sense. They can serve as the basis of reality and ground all of our other passions and desires. From family to our car obsession to our schooling. High school and college don't have a purpose in and of themselves, but they do serve the main 2 purposes of life. First, we are glorifying God in ourselves by being the creatures that He created us to be. This involves being creative and learning about the universe that He has placed us in, both of which are encompassed by schooling. Second, we are glorifying God through building relationships and growing to be able to provide for future relationships, both of which are also encompassed in school. This applies to anything else in life as well. If you're working on your car with your friends, that has a purpose in life, and if that relationship is one that is cultivating a seed for the gospel or growing your friend closer to Christ. As I wrap up here, I want to challenge all of you to a couple of things. First, look at the parts of your life that are wrapped up intrinsically in your purpose in life, namely relationships. They're an invaluable gift. and shouldn't be taken lightly or treated as such. We can often forget how precious they are, and how the other person or persons should be treated. Personally, I took many of my relationships for granted up until the summer of 2022 when I stayed with my grandparents to help them out. I am incredibly grateful that God gave me the gift of that summer to spend with them, because the following May my grandfather passed, and it was only then that I realized exactly how much I had been taken for granted up to that point. The second challenge I want to make to you all is to work on using logic in your life. It has been so ingrained into me at Veritas, and I do believe that it is a law of the universe and a gift given to us by God. Kids have logical discussions with their parents, parents have logical discussions with their kids, peers with peers. I don't even need to say students and teachers because I know that already happens. And especially parents with parents. In our modern day culture, many times we don't listen to others, and logic doesn't work if you don't truly hear the other person. We had a speaker come recently into our school to talk about seeing someone. And I want to challenge you all to respectfully hear those in your life and work on talking logically with them. I think our whole society would do better if each person strived to talk and think logically with respect. I want to end this with humor. As I was talking with someone who will remain unnamed about having to write a valedictorian speech, they said that I really put the L in valedictorian. They were making a joke, and it wasn't meant to be cruel, but it actually got me thinking. I pray that God has given me the grace to give this speech humbly, because the very true reality is that I'm a fallen individual. There are many times when I do truly put the L in valedictorian and no one recognizes this better than myself. I'm imperfect, but thankfully through Christ I can be made whole. With that being said, hopefully you have heard this speech not as valedictorian to the school, but as one fellow brother in Christ.